In a world that screams for your attention, a world of noise, of notifications, of endless scrolling and hollow validation, there exists a different kind of power, a silent frequency. And you're already tuned to it, even if you don't realize it yet. You've been told your entire life what makes a man attractive. The car, the career, the clever lines, the perfectly curated life broadcasted for all to see. But that's a lie. It's a fragile performance, a house of cards built on the approval of others. And deep down, you've always felt it. That hollowness. That sense that you're playing a game you never wanted to join, so let me tell you the truth you already feel in your bones. You're far more attractive than you think. Not because of what you do, or what you own, or what you say. It's far more profound than that. Your magnetism comes from what you don't need to do. You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You don't need to showcase your accomplishments to be respected. You don't need to chase affection to be desired. You won't have to change a single, fundamental thing about who you are. The only task before you is to recognize the quiet fire that's already burning beneath the surface. To peel back the layers of social conditioning and unleash the man you were always meant to be, because you don't take control. You are control. You are the stoic force of a man who needs nothing from the world, therefore owns everything within it. Attraction, you see, isn't noise. It's not a desperate plea for attention. It's gravity. It is a silent, immense, and undeniable force. It pulls. It doesn't chase. And the most magnetic men, the ones who leave an indelible mark on every room they enter, they don't beg for attention. They make silence seductive. Imagine him. He walks into a crowded room without a word. No grand entrance, no boisterous greeting. Yet a ripple effect begins. Heads turn not because of a flashy suit, but because of an invisible weight, centeredness that disrupts the chaotic energy around him. People feel him before they even speak to him. They sense a man who is entirely at home within his own skin, a man who has conquered his own inner empire, not because he's flashy, but because he's unshakably still. No desperate need for validation. No performative flex. Just pure, unadulterated presence. This isn't a new idea. It is an ancient power. The great Stoic emperor, Marcus Aurelius, didn't post his victories on a public forum. He embodied them in his character, in his justice, in his calm resolve. The former slave-turned-philosopher Epictetus didn't need a crown to lead thousands. His mind was his empire, and his freedom was absolute because it depended on nothing external. And that, right there, is the secret. True earth-shattering power isn't something you show. It's something they sense. It's in your posture, not rigid, but rooted. It's in your pause before you speak, a sign that your words are chosen, not reflexively spat out. It's in the way you look through people, not just at them. Seeing beyond the surface-level games to the core of who they are, you radiate something ancient, something solid. The stoic energy of a man who needs nothing, and in that needlessness, finds he has access to everything in this video. I'm going to reveal 7 undeniable signs that you are already radiating this power, that you are far more attractive than you currently realize. These signs are not about compliments or fleeting glances. They are deep, psychological reactions from the world around you, all rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and the unshakable presence of a man who controls his mind, not the world around him. Let's begin. Sign 1. Women get nervous around you. The stillness of a Stoic. Pay attention. This is subtle, but it's one of the most powerful indicators. You walk into a room, a cafe, a social gathering. You are calm in your body, relaxed in your mind. You aren't scanning the room for approval. You are simply present. And then you notice her. She was confident, laughing with her friends just a moment ago. But now in your orbit, her energy shifts. She's suddenly fidgeting. Her hand goes to her necklace, a nervous touch. She smooths her dress, adjusts her hair, bites her lower lip. Her laughter becomes a little too loud, or she suddenly goes quiet. It's not a coincidence. It is a direct response to your internal stillness. As the great Stoic Epictetus said, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. You have spent time mastering your judgments. You are undisturbed by the chaos, and this creates a powerful vacuum. She feels your lack of nervous energy, and her own system doesn't know how to respond. It's like a tuning fork vibrating next to a still one. Your calm forces her to become aware of her own internal frequency. Why does this happen? Because you're no longer playing the anxious boys game of proving your worth. You're not leaning in, desperate for a positive reaction. You've become the observer, not the reactor. The lighthouse, not the ship tossed in the storm. That calm, non-netty power is incredibly rare. Your subconscious mind recognizes it immediately as a sign of profound strength. That's stillness. That is Stoicism in action, and it is deeply, primally attractive. Sign 2. Men act differently. You shift the energy of the pack. This sign is just as telling, but in a different way. Watch the men in the room when you enter. Watch them closely. Their behavior is a barometer of your presence. Some will pointedly avoid eye contact, suddenly fascinated by their phone or the drink in their hand. Others will physically stiffen, their posture becoming more rigid, more forced. A third group will do the opposite. They'll get louder, more boastful. Their laughter will have a sharp, competitive edge. Why this spectrum of reactions? Because they feel your composure, and it acts as a mirror to their own lack of it. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." You carry the quiet aura of a man who has been through the friction, who has faced the inner storms of ego, fear, and desire, and has chosen peace. That grounded peace makes other men uncomfortable, especially those still caught in the endless cycle of trying to prove themselves. They feel your presence, and it forces them to rethink their own posture, their own state of being. You don't have to say a word to dominate a room. Your equanimity, your self-possession, does it for you. You are the unspoken standard, and their reactions, whether avoidance, aggression, or imitation, are all acknowledgments of the power you silently wield. Sin. 3. Women test you. The unshakable Stoic frame. When a woman is truly intrigued by this silent power, she will not give you simple, easy compliments. That's for the boys who need validation. Instead, she will test you. Her flirtation will have an edge. She will mock you, gently at first. She tease you about your shirt. She'll challenge an opinion you hold. She might even ignore you for a moment to see how you react. This is not rejection. Read this again. This is not rejection. It is the highest form of respect. She is testing the foundation of your castle. She wants to see if your calm is real or just a fragile mask. Is he really this centered, or will one little push make him crumble into neediness and anger? And when you meet her test not with defensiveness but with an unbothered smile, a playful glance, a calm, steady amusement, she melts. This is the Stoic's ultimate advantage. You are not swayed by praise, so you cannot be broken by provocation. You operate from an internal locus of control. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private meditations, "Choose not to be harmed. Don't feel harmed on, you haven't been." That unshakable mindset, that emotional self-governance, is the rarest treasure a man can possess. And women are instinctively, powerfully drawn to rarity. You passed her test without even knowing you were taking it. Sign 4. Strangers stare. The magnetism of inner order. Have you ever been walking down the street? Or sitting in a park, completely lost in your own thoughts, only to look up and catch strangers watching you? There's no clear reason. You're not dressed outrageously. You're not doing anything peculiar. They just ... stare. With a look of curiosity, sometimes even admiration. This isn't your ego playing tricks on you. That is the magnetism of virtue. A Stoic man, a man who cultivates his inner world, radiates an aura of internal order. In a world where most people are fractured, distracted, and pulled in a million directions, you are whole. Your posture is strong, but relaxed. Your eyes are focused, not desperately scanning for the next distraction. You move with a purpose, even when you're just walking, as if time is your ally, not your enemy. People instinctively gravitate toward order and away from chaos. It's a survival instinct. In a visually and emotionally disordered world, your centered presence becomes a landmark. You are the compass pointing north, and people can't help but look. Even if they don't consciously understand why they're so drawn to your energy, sign 5, you get special treatment. The world rewards composure. The world subtly bends toward a man who is the master of himself. Notice it. The barista gives you a warmer smile. The security guard nods, with a level of respect not afforded to others. People hold the door for you a little longer. Favors are given before you even have to ask. This isn't because you're more important. It's because your inner world of calm authority is mirrored by the outer world. When you interact with people without neediness, without anxiety, without an undercurrent of desperation, you put them at ease. You signal competence, stability, and control. People trust a man who trusts himself. As Epictetus taught, seek not that events should happen as you will, but will that they should happen as they do, and your life will be serene. When you embody this serenity, people want to be a part of it. They want to contribute to your world because your world feels safe, ordered, and powerful. Serenity in a man is deeply attractive not just to women, but to everyone. It is the ultimate social lubricant. Sign 6. Women get upset when you ignore them. Your attention is a reward. This is the inverse of the first sign, and it is profoundly powerful. You were in a group setting. You were polite, you were present, but your attention was on the conversation, on your own thoughts, on your mission. You didn't single her out. You didn't fawn over her. You didn't chase. You weren't being cold or rude. You were simply present in your own world. And now, she's irritated. Her behavior changes. She becomes louder, trying to pull focus. She might move closer to you, inserting herself into your space. She might make a pointed comment designed to get your eyes on her. Why? Because a stoic man doesn't need external validation, and that unspoken independence can drive a woman, who is used to being the center of attention, absolutely wild. Your joy is not outsourced. Your contentment is not up for negotiation. As Marcus Aurelius affirmed to himself, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your thoughts are your own. You are a sovereign nation. Therefore, your attention is a valuable currency. It is earned, not given away freely to anyone who demands it. In that powerful restraint lies an almost primal appeal. You've demonstrated that your world is full without her, which makes her want to be a part of it more than ever. Sign 7. People assume you have options. The silent strength of self-masterythis is the culmination of all the other signs. You've never bragged about your dating life. You've never hinted at other women. You've never played games or tried to make anyone jealous. Yet everyone, your friends, your colleagues, the women you meet, they all carry a quiet assumption. The assumption is that you are in demand, that you have options. Why? Because abundance is an energy, not a checklist, and you embody it. You speak less, so your words carry more weight. You pause more, so your presence feels more deliberate. You never, ever chase, so you are perceived as the one who is chosen. This is the final, undeniable mark of a stoic man. He is complete within himself. He does not lean outward for support, for validation, or for happiness. He is the source of his own strength. And that kind of self-contained, self-reliant man, always, without fail, seems like he has the world at his feet. He is both the eye of the storm and the calm that follows. The stoic flame is sexy. Stoics, listen to me. Here is what no one ever tells you about the game of attraction. It doesn't come from trying. It comes from mastery. Mastery of self. Mastery of thought. Mastery of your own presence. You don't impress the world by chasing it down. You draw it into your orbit by becoming perfectly, powerfully still. Discipline, groundedness, certainty, temperance, fortitude, wisdom, stillness. These are not just dusty, ancient virtues from forgotten books. They are modern-day magnets. They are the ultimate currency in a world bankrupt of Authenticity. Let others drown in the shallow waters of trends and validation. You will root yourself in eternal truth. Let others beg for attention. You will become the gravity they cannot help but orbit. And here is the most important truth of all. You don't need anyone's permission to become this man. The signs are already there. If you've felt them, if you've seen them, if you have lived even one of these moments, then you're already on the path. You are already becoming him. Subscribe for more wisdom on the path. Drop a comment below. Which of these 7 signs have you noticed showing up in your life? Own it, acknowledge it, and remember. The Stoic man never seeks to impress. He simply becomes impossible to ignore. Stay silent. Stay strong.